Market update here on the 15th. I'm just going to make a video and I'm going to do the charting while I'm on the video. So you'll see pretty much every step. So this might be a little bit longer, but I haven't done a video in 4 or 5 days. So just going to see maybe the process. I'm going to try to do all the tech stocks. So it might not be as smooth as normal, but that's how I'm going to do it. So starting here with Google, because I don't ever do Google. This is a fourth wave right here. I have 5 waves done, and then you can see here on the weekly chart, we get a straight down line here. We broke below this. None of that really matters that much. The chances of this being a fourth wave are slim. You can see here it came all the way back down into basically the first wave. So knowing that and knowing that this is an impulse move, I have this labeled as 1, 2, and you can see here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the third wave. Currently in a fourth wave here. And within that fourth wave, I think there's still another leg up though. So you can see here, we get this move up, and then we get A, B, potentially one more move down here to like 159 maybe, or it's finished. Either way, I think you're probably going to get another move up here to maybe like 170, and that will be the fourth wave, and then I'm expecting one more move down for the overall fifth wave. So if we look at the moving averages on this, we have the 200 down here at 155. So I would expect Google, when it does drop, it's probably going to drop close to 10%, but I would expect it to probably hold the 200 DMA. And then that would be the overall A wave. If you watch my videos in the past, I've talked about I'm expecting a blow off top. So I wouldn't be surprised if it makes a B wave with a higher high. So either way, it could come down and just go to right here and then come down, or we could get something like this and then big move down like that. So Google isn't a bad buy here, I don't think, because if it comes down here to 150 or 155, you're probably going to get at least a 50% retracement from there, which takes it all the way up here to 173. So I think that Google looks pretty good. If I extend this over here, this is a daily demand zone right here. You can see here it hit there and bounced. So I would actually be surprised if this didn't hold on the next wave down. So that's a pretty important area right here. You got the 200, you got demand right there. So overall, just looking at this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you'd probably get that. And I'm seeing a lot of call buying on Google too. So Google is not a bad buy. I'm going to go kind of quick though, because I want to get all these done. I got to set up my own trading before the market. Apple. So I haven't looked at it in a while, so give me a second to figure this out. But again, on Apple, and this just shows you that the move down might be pretty quick. It might come quick. It might be done before they cut rates. So could be done by mid-September. Apple already hit my target. Again, I'm looking for a diagonal here, and it hit into the first wave. So Apple might have already started, which makes a little bit of sense because when Google pulls back for that last fifth wave, Apple might pull back for a second wave because Apple is on a different count. So whenever this pulls back, let's just say this is a wave 1 of the fifth wave, you're probably going to look at some kind of pullback here to like 209, 208. And then, and by the way, I don't know if this topped out. It might have. It's in a daily supply zone right now. So that's going to be interesting to see if they can break through it. That's 225. Actually looks like a pretty good short here. So Google doesn't have to go all the way up here. Maybe it only comes up here to like 165, 166, and then drops. Apple looking for a pullback. Needs to hold 196 in the pullback, and then I'd be looking for that probably into early 2025. So Apple, I would probably not be long here. Tesla. So Tesla is kind of interesting because if we're just looking for one more pullback of about 10%, on Apple it's only about 5%. On Google, it could be about 5% too, I guess. If it only goes like 165, 166. 5% on Tesla is just back down here to like 190. So let's zoom in here. So Tesla either bottomed or it's going to come down here and make a new low. If it bottomed, and one thing I noticed on the call options and put options, right now the call options are significantly more expensive than the put options, which means that I'm bullish. That means they're probably going to go higher. I don't know what I think I was looking at the November 15th 200 calls yesterday. It was around 200 at the same time, and they were like a couple dollars more on the $200 calls. Usually means that it's going to go up. So with that being said, I think that the most likely scenario here is that Tesla is starting. This could be wave one. We're going to say it's A or wave one because this could still end up being ABC like that, or this is A or 1, so it could be a first wave too. If it's a first wave, then you're looking at it like this as a second wave, and then it takes off. And then it goes to new highs. So let's just calculate about 5% drop on Tesla. Again, that's about 190. This right here looks like a B wave to me now. So A, B, C. 190 is about where I'd expect if that was a first wave. So if this is a first wave, 193, bounce, 190. So I think that Tesla is actually a short here. It filled this gap right here. And then this looks like a first wave to me. So second wave today maybe. And then third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave, and maybe that's it. If that's the bullish scenario, it's possible the ABC is already finished. This does look like a 5-wave move to me too. It's kind of hard to distinguish which one it is. So if that ends up being a 5-wave move, there's still some bear counts too. The bear counts are, this is wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This would be kind of strange though. Let me go zoom out here. Because for me, that would just end up being A, B, C like that. Because this right here is not an impulse move. This looked like an impulse move, but it could have been a B wave too, and then this could be a C wave. So it's possible it comes all the way down here to 155, but that would just mean that everything else is falling a lot more than I expected. So it's possible that it's also a B wave here. Could also be like that. So we'll see which one it is, but right now I'm leaning a little bit bearish. If you're in puts, you can just put a stop above the high here at 208.53 and write it down. If it does come down here to 190, I would expect. If it breaks above that, then potentially this is the end of the B wave. So A, B, C like that. because this was 5 waves, but I'm expecting that to be wave 1 of 5 waves and not the full 5 waves. So Tesla's kind of confusing here. A lot of different possibilities, but that's always how Tesla is. Tesla is one of the harder ones to read. You're always kind of hedging, and you kind of know the range, but you don't know the exact count all the time. It makes it really, really hard because if it was that easy to read, you could make money on this stock so easily because it moves so well. So let's go over Microsoft now. So Microsoft either is, I kind of go back and forth on this. It looks like it's probably topped out here and this is an A wave down, or it's a 4th wave and you're looking for a 5th wave higher. But let's see. I think that Microsoft was an extension. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This right here is an extension. 1, 2, 3, 4. But this kind of, it is invalidated though. That's the problem. Invalidated. So we have to look at this one for a second. Let's get rid of the moving averages. So 1, 2. Yeah, this one's kind of weird because it looked like this could be an extension right here. So moving average wise, it's okay, it's above the 200, you get the 20 and the 50 there, so it's not extremely bullish. This looks like a corrective move right here. So, is it possible that this is a 3rd wave? Microsoft always moves like this, kind of weird. Let's just take a look at gap fills and supply and demand. So you got a gap fill up here, 443. And one down here at 396. Let's go to the daily. Okay, so we got this up here at 440. That's a daily supply zone. And I like to look at 3-day too. 2-day. And let's look at weekly. So you got weekly up here too. Weekly supply is way up here. So daily supply and weekly supply right on top of each other basically. Okay, and then let's look down below. We have the daily again. So this is kind of what I do when I don't have a clear count. I will look at the supply zones and see where this hit. Let's see where this hit right here. And let's go back and look at this now. This must have already bottomed then. This is a pretty big bounce from 385 all the way back to 417. So maybe Microsoft is one of the ones that's already completing its ABC move, and you're going to see a pullback and another move higher like that. I don't know, Microsoft, to be honest. I got to go over this not on stream, make it easier. Let's go over Meta. Okay, Meta. Let's go to the weekly. Okay, so we have 3, 4 there. Then we have 1, 2, 3 right here. 4. Question is, was this the 5th wave right here? Or was this the end of the 4th wave? So to answer that, we got to figure out, is this an impulse move right here? It does not look like an impulse move. It looks like an ABC move. And so I think that this actually looks to me like a ABC move, and this looks like the 4th wave down maybe. But this is strange right here. And this is how it goes. I sometimes sit here for 30 minutes to an hour just trying to figure out exactly what's going on with the chart, like I'm doing now. You're not going to always just look at the chart and be like, oh yeah, this is exactly what it is. So easy. It's not like that at all. I'm guessing the 4th wave is here. Potentially, this is a B wave. Microsoft and Meta I haven't looked at in a while, so it's going to take me a bit. Let's see what the 1.61 fib is of this. And you know what really helps out is, let's do the parallel lines. So this has got to be the 4th wave right here. Just based on what I see, this has got to be the 4th wave. So the question is, was this the 5th wave and this the start of the move down right here? I would say, based on what I think the other stocks are going to do, this is probably only wave 1. So I'm going to go ahead and label this wave 1. And this was 5 waves. Yeah, that was 5 waves. So I'm guessing right here, you're probably going to see another move down in Meta. That makes a lot of sense too, because everything else is going to pull back. So I'm guessing that on Meta, you're going to see A, B, C. So you could see a move back down here to like 440. And then I think you're going to see, kind of similar to Apple, you're going to see maybe even a diagonal too. Something like that. So I don't think Meta has topped out yet. If you look at PE ratios too, I don't see any way that Meta is topped out. But I want to see this hold 414. So on a pullback, which is probably coming based on this structure, I want to see 414 hold, and then you're looking at a move up to 638. If I'm wrong, and this ends up being the A wave down, and that was the top right here, this could have been the top. It hit a new high. It's a diagonal kind of. Then you're still looking at this as A, and you're looking at a B retrace. So I think Meta will be one of the more attractive names to get into on the next pullback. If it hits somewhere down here in the low 400s, then it's a great play. And the thing is, too, we'll know if this is an A wave if it breaks the low. If it breaks 415 and comes down here and fills this gap at 405, I'd be buying all day here because you're going to see the retrace. Let's say it comes all the way down here to 390. You're retracing all the way to 460. That would be an incredible entry. Incredible entry. You would have to watch out, though, to make sure this is not a 5-wave move. So again, nothing is definite, but you have to watch out for, does it break the low? If it fills a gap, it's in weekly demand. You're going to want to buy there. So Meta, I think, has not topped out, but it could have topped out. Could have topped out. Either way, buying in this range. Where is that tool at? Buying anywhere in this range is going to make you money. So anywhere from like 435 down to like 380. It's going to make you money. I would not be buying here. Okay, enough on that. Amazon. Amazon's pretty self-explanatory. I went over this in one of the recent videos. The reason it's self-explanatory is it's clearly a 5-wave move unless it crosses 177. If it crosses 177, then you're looking at this as a retrace B wave. So it could end up being similar to Google, new low coming up. So we'll see on that, but 177 is a magic number. If you look at the, let's see where it's at. It did break above the 200, so that's good news if you're long. I saw a lot of call options bought on it as well. But your next magic number is 175. If it can break above the 20, it could invalidate this 5-wave move. Okay, NVIDIA. We got to go over NVIDIA. NVIDIA to me is pretty easy to see. So this has got to be could be a 4th wave too. If we zoom out here on the weekly, it just kind of depends. It could be a 4th wave if this is a 3rd wave. I kind of go back and forth on this. It could have topped out. If it topped out, then you're looking at this earnings being negative. However, on the weekly, still above every moving average. On the daily, it is above everything except for the 50. So it's pretty bullish overall. If it can break above this parallel line, then I would favor the 5 waves up to new highs. If it gets rejected here or in this area right here at 121, then I am favoring the count down. Based on what I see from options and based on what I see from every other tech stock, I favor this count right here. So I favor 121 and then probably a move down to a minimum of 80 bucks. And 80 bucks would break the 200 on here. On the weekly, it would basically hit the 50-day on the weekly. Let's look at 78 bucks. Let's look at the gap fill. And there's a gap fill down there. No, we already filled that one. There's one at 86, barely, not really a gap fill there. There's a gap all the way down at 69 bucks. The max this can go is 69 bucks. So I would watch out in NVIDIA. I think I'm leaning bearish on this one. And I mean, 69 bucks would obviously be ridiculous pullback from where it's at now. So you got to be careful. We'll see. It could end up doing this too. Could end up doing that. And then come back down here to like 90 bucks. But overall, we'll see. It really just depends on this move right here. Can it break this parallel line? And really, it needs to break above 125 for me to be super bullish on it. And then even then, so right here we have a daily supply. There's another daily supply zone right up here. So really, I would say even like 130 is really where I'd get really bullish. Above 130, I'd be super bullish. Above 125, I'm pretty bullish too. It's above all the moving averages. So NVIDIA has some work to do. I saw a lot of puts come in yesterday for the end of the month. So that's not what you want to see. AMD, again, I'm in this one. I really messed up that trade when I was traveling. Not on my A game, which is not smart, but I was trying to get a little bit cute, and I'm in this now. It hit into the supply zone, backed off a little bit, but it invalidated. This invalidated being a 5-way move. It's ABC. So I actually favor AMD either making a 5-way move to new highs, similar to everything else, or at least retracing up here to 165. So it kind of depends. I don't know exactly what's going to happen here. I would expect probably similar to Apple. So similar to Apple means we drop back down to at least like 132 at some point, maybe 129, and then it starts moving higher after that. So maybe, let's see where the 1.61 fib is. 157 there. So maybe only 157, but I think it's probably going to pull back out of this zone. However, it is above the 20, and you have the 200 and the 50 up here. This overall is bearish. It needs to keep on going to keep the 50 above the 20. The finish above, actually it finished below, didn't it? No, it finished below the 20, so that's kind of bearish. Let me zoom in here. So this is what I like though. It's kind of similar to Tesla actually, now that I'm looking at it. So A, B, potentially this. And then it's ready to go. Like that. Potentially 157 after that. So I think that it makes sense for this to drop back down here to like 128 and then move up higher. Let's go to the indexes now and go over those. These are very important. So indexes, it's above the 200 and now above the 20, and you can see it's up pre-market. We have 472 as the next resistance. It is in a supply zone right here. I said 465 was my target. Well, I didn't say that. I said that was a 1.61 fib. 461 is my target. This is potentially a 5-way move if it can break above this parallel line. It really needs to get above 472. And then I would start getting really bullish on QQQ. However, zooming in here, so far it's looking like a corrective move. Break above 465, break above that, and it already hit that area, I guess. Break above 465, and you could potentially be looking at an impulse move. Otherwise, I'm favoring pullback, probably back down here to like 440, and then another move higher like that. But again, and yeah, this could be the overall, the B wave of the overall A wave. So that's kind of confusing, but it could be A, B, C, like that. Kind of depends. So yeah, I don't want to get ahead of myself and try to think about moves down here months in advance, but right now, just focus on this right here, these parallel lines. Can it break 465? That's the first thing. Can it break 470 to make it an impulse move? So to be an impulse move, it's got to be basically this. Okay, so like that. Otherwise, it's going to get rejected, and that could be it too. That could end up being A, B, C like that, or it could end up doing up here to 480. I actually favor this move right here. But I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on this because it doesn't make as much sense with like looking at Google and stuff like that. I guess this can. I like to have them going the same way to make a lot of sense. So I guess the most sense is made for it to go up here and then make a new low, just based on everything getting ready to fall. So yeah, this could be it right here, or we pull back and then make a new high up here to 480 and fill that gap. Or again, watch the parallel lines, could be a 5-wave move, but very, very unlikely based on the fact that I think we topped out overall for the 5th wave here. So those are the two I'm looking for the most. And we'll see what happens today. I think the rest of the week they're probably just going to. Okay, it just popped. So they had the unemployment numbers, I think, and it looks like it's pretty good numbers. It's already up 1%, 466. Can it hold? Can it be above 465? We'll find out. SPY. Okay, it's at 547. Same thing here. It's above all moving averages. It's more bullish. Needs to break above 549 for me to get super bullish. Really, 548 is the end of the supply zone, but above 549 breaks the parallel line. Otherwise, I'm looking for this to start moving back down, and similar to QQQ, either this or straight down to new lows, potentially 490. I saw a huge put on SPY earlier yesterday for I think 495. It was like $11 million for March of next year. So we'll find out there as well. Overall, I think that we have a little bit more higher to go, maybe into the end of the week, and then we should be starting a pullback. Next week remains to be seen how far that pulls back. Is it going to be the pullback that takes us to new lows? So is it going to be this, or is it going to be the pullback? This comes down here, and then we make new highs going into the rate cuts and then drop. Slim chance, possible, but slim chance it's this. So we'll see. Pretty long video here. Let's see what else we got here. Did I miss any of the tech stocks? I don't think so. IWM, I didn't look at that. This one's actually more obvious to me. So it's up pre-market. This one's obvious to me because look at this move right here. Well, let's see. Go to the hourly. Yeah, so I had this as a wave 1 right here. So I'm looking for a pullback. I said 212 in the last video was my short area, but probably maybe even up to 216. You have this gap fill up here. Right around in this area, I'd be shorting for the next move down, which I think is going to end up being the biggest move down out of all the indexes probably. So let's see, A, B, C. So this right here was an ABC move. Let me zoom out. There's so many lines on this. So I have it drawn up here before as well. I'm looking for a pullback here, and then I'm looking for more downside. And I've said the whole time that this looks to me like ABC and then 5 waves down. Complete this move. It is moving up right now, and this is when I'd be shorting right here. I don't even know what happened with the employment numbers. I don't care. This is a good short. If you're wrong, you're risking. Let's see what you're risking. Let's say you buy at 215. You're risking, I guess you're risking 14 bucks to make 37. So you're getting pretty good odds on that, risk reward on that. So yeah, again, I am not going to be faked out here. I do have bullish positions as well. Like SoFi as an example, I have a bullish position on that. So if IWM was to invalidate and just go to new highs, then I'd be very happy about that. But I am still going to be shorting this right here for a big move down. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I think we're getting ready to have a pullback, but we'll see. Can it keep on going higher and break above the levels needed to turn this into an impulse move? Again, those levels are probably like 550 for SPY. QQQ, it needs to get above like 472. It's at 467. Can it get above the 50-day moving average, break this parallel line, and turn this into an impulse move? We will find out. I'm going to leave it at that. That was the longest video I maybe have ever done. So leave me a comment, like, subscribe if you like the content. And just to let you know, these videos are not definite. I give you scenarios. It's up to you to figure out in the moment which scenario makes the most sense. Then you take the risk reward that you think is going to work out. If you're wrong, you take the loss. If you're right, you should make more money than when you're wrong. I'm not giving you definite scenarios. I'm giving you options, counts that could play out. And if they don't, then you take a small loss, and hopefully your wins are bigger than your losses. So that is pretty much it. I'm not going to do any of the other stocks right now. I know there's other stocks to look at, but this is a tech video. Keep your stop losses tight because we're probably going to see a pullback here within the next couple of weeks. All right, that's it. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe for more updates, and I'll catch you in the next video.